All right, and we're back. And I'm Joe Swerner. I'm your customer advocate. And somehow my whole computer is just pooped. Okay, that's great. All right, so today is our 25th quarantine stream. We're going to be going over the Xbox Hall of Fame competition and announcing winners of this zombie rodeo contest later on today. But with us in the studio today, since we're going for this once again, all four on the same screen, and hopefully this time the audio is not screwed up, the star of our show, Mr. Falldown Goboom, right over here. He's going to be sharing some strategies with us for how to clear some things out. Falldown, would you like to say hello to the people?
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm Falldown Goboom. I play this a lot. Just recently, I just finished up a tournament this past weekend that I would like to thank everyone who stopped by, who took part. It was a rally car checkpoint run that was called Providence Ridge Racers that I had been advertising in Discord, and I'd really like to thank everyone who took part, everyone who showed up, and Undead Labs for just making an awesome game. And thank you guys for having me today. Appreciate it.
Jeffrey, would you like a second chance to say hello to the people, this time with better audio?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Joe. So I'm just happy to be here with Falldown Goboom. He's much better at our game than we are. I'm going to be getting some very useful tips from this. I'm not eligible for the contest, but that's fine. I still would like to get better at killing plague hearts because I play this game a lot on my own free time, and I want to learn as much as I can about how real people out there actually play the game. So,
all right, thanks, Jeffrey. And of course, last over here, that guy.
Laugh. No, but not least, just laugh.
Brant Fitzgerald, our Brant champion. Would you like to say something to the people, Brant?
Yes. Whenever I'm feeling like not anxious enough, I tune into Falldown streams to get really overly anxious and frightened by what he does in his speedruns. So here we go.
All right. And so as we were talking about this, let's go up to the Slayer rules here. All right.
Ooh. So when you talk about the Slayer rules, but these are the rules for the contest that's going to be coming up October 16th.
Oh, right. I must have skipped some things in my notes. That's why I make notes, everybody. So today we're going to be going over this race against the clock with our special guest, Mr. Falldown Goboom. We've got an update on some very nasty bugs that went out with update 21, and of course we've got the Xbox Hall of Fame contest that's coming up October 16th through the 18th, and we also have our zombie rodeo contest with some announcements that are coming up. So as many of you know, update 21 released with some interesting bugs. And it all came down to one thing, and we put out a fix really quickly that made sure that no new instances would happen, and then we put out a fix that reinstated your boons for those of you who lost them to the bug. And we are working on one more fix. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to release, but we are working on one more fix that will hopefully give you something to make you feel a little bit better about the loss. And from what I understand, everybody's getting a little bit of something to make up for the egg on our faces. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for your patience, and especially thank you for your patronage. We love having you guys around. All right. The zombie rodeo winners, we'll do that later. But for now, let's get started with Mr. Falldown Goboom. So Falldown, I've been seeing this thing on Twitter, and there was this thing you did this last weekend.
Yes,
would you like to talk about that just a little bit?
Sure. So what I did, that was the Providence Ridge Racers event that I've been talking about, tweeting about, all that stuff. What it was every racer who would come in would go onto the Providence Ridge map. I had set up 4 checkpoints that the drivers would have to go through and then head back to the starting point, which is on the top of the hill, turn around, do the entire thing in reverse. Fastest time won an Amazon gift card, this awesome trophy made by Adamantium, which says, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says Providence Ridge Racers. First, it is a cutout of the Providence Ridge map, and it's got a little brain that flashes and lights up. So they won that. They won the gift card and a bunch of other stuff that I'm sending over to them. And we had, I don't remember how many people came through and did the race itself, but we did that event for 14 hours on Saturday and then 14 hours on Sunday as well, and it was awesome. We had a ton of people in, we had a ton of people watching, and it was a great time. It's the first of many. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing more moving forward, different events. Hopefully, the next one is going to be more combat oriented for some of you that have been playing the game longer and are better with guns, and better with guns than you are at driving. I'm just looking to keep the community alive and just keep people coming back and playing and being a part of this group, because you guys have made an amazing community for the fans, and considering the fact that State of Decay 3 is coming out and State of Decay 2 is continuing to get amazing updates and all that, I'd like to keep it going, and I'd like to keep this community both alive and fresh and friendly. So that's what it's all about.
Well, and we love you for it, Falldown. So in that same vein, we also would like to see all of those things. And so what we're doing is, in conjunction with Xbox, they're doing like this Hall of Fame contest, and we opted in so that to get some interest going, and we've got this Zombie Slayer contest that's coming up. Now, in order to be eligible, you'll notice that you have to some of the things that you have to do up there. First thing first is to you have to go to www.xbox.com/HOF. It's an Xbox contest only, and so only Xbox console players are eligible. Part of that is because the vast majority of modders are on PC, and we can put safeguards against modding. You'll notice way down at the bottom, it says modded items or characters disqualify your run. We can put safeguards on the Xbox that we can't necessarily put on PC. The contest begins at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, October 16th, and ends at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 18th. Now, all you really have to do is you have to clear a standard or harder, like if you really want to flex a little bit, go for that Dread Zone, go for that Nightmare. But all you have to do is clear a standard zone of play guards. You can replay the challenge as many times as you like within the window, and the clock starts when you move to a new map or you start a new community. Now, Falldown, it looks like he's going to be starting a new community, and you'll notice he's got a Legacy Survivor queued up there. Legacy Survivors and boons are fair game. So for what it's worth, you can use and you can prepare any survivor from your survivor pool to put into a new community, and you can go. I am going to take a slightly different tactic, and I am going to actually switch maps, so that
That's a good question in chat. Airy Twitch asked, what about changing difficulty settings? Does that count as a new map?
If you're changing the difficulty of the map, it should be. As long as it's resetting the map and you're on a fresh map, it should do that. However,
the clock starts whenever the map gets initialized, and so whether you're doing that by starting a brand new community, or whether you're doing that by bringing community to a new map, or resetting the difficulty of your map, either way, it's the moment that new map is initialized that's when the clock starts.
You'll
wouldn't that
be able to see some things on I believe it on stateofdecay.com, also Hall of Fame. There's some more information about what you're going to see on Xbox. There's going to be some cool new UI that tells you exactly where you're at in the time, how much time has elapsed while you were on that map, and there's going to be some cool things. Sorry, Brant, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was going to say, if people just do a map switch with the same community, doesn't that give them a little bit of an edge? Because if you start with a new map, you have to run and take over a house.
Yes and no. Like I'll defer to Falldown on this one, but you don't necessarily have to take over that first house.
Yeah, so it's really up to you. What I would say is that if you're taking an existing community to standard, changing difficulty to have the map respawn, you are going to have a better start than someone who is someone who's starting a brand new community, because you have your car already set. Your car is probably going to be gassed up, and it's probably going to be something really good. For me, what I'm going to do is I have 3 survivors here that are kitted out the way that I'm going to kind of explain to you guys and show you how I'm doing it, and then I'm just going to call in a car because, whatever.
We got a good question. Shemming Snipers asked, do we have to record our own footage?
No, this is all tracked by telemetry in the game, and so your game is going to be reporting constantly how your progress on the contest. So you don't need to film it in order to prove that you did it. The game is already tracking you. And in fact, as Joe mentioned, there's going to be, whenever you open the pause screen, there's going to be UI on the pause screen that tells you how you're doing. So you can actually double check to make sure that everything's working the way you expect it. For instance, if you started a brand new community, I believe that the timer is actually going to start probably while you're still in the character selection screen. And so even if you do decide you're going to start a brand new community for this, double check the time when you get into the game, and if you lost a bunch of time selecting your characters, just make sure, do something to refresh the map, and you'll be able to verify when your time gets reset, because it'll be right there on the pause screen.
All right, well, let's see how well I did in setting this up. Not well. Great. Falldown, are you still sharing your game? I don't see it. No, it's okay. We'll go back to Slayer rules, and then go back to how you had it before, however that was.
I don't know how I had it before.
right now I'm seeing a very slow frame rate. So
all right, I've stopped sharing.
Okay. It's a reference. All right, we're good.
So Draco's White Wolf asks, are the maps going to be standardized with the number of play cards, so they all have the same number? So the standard zone map is probably the most consistent, the consistent difficulty level when it comes to the number of play cards that appear. If there are slight discrepancies, then sorry, but the requirement is to complete this to kill every play card on a standard zone map. So if you notice you've rolled up a standard zone map and you seem to have more play cards than usual, roll it up again. And but I believe that it should be fairly consistent how many play cards there are on the map.
Oh no, Falldown's already started.
Back. No. I'm moving to a.
All right, so you can see my game up in the corner here in black and white. Just so you can... Oh, we shouldn't be echoing anymore. I turned off the NDI source, so we should be good. Oh, I bet it's because I turned off his camera because it was just showing the teams, wasn't showing his camera. All right, let me fix that really quick.
There was a question, if we have a modded gun in our community chest but don't bring it on the speed run, is that okay, or will we be disqualified? And the answer is only equipped or carried weapons matter.
Yeah, and I just verified, Brant, that people can hear your voice, so they did get the answer to that question.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, so if you've got a modded weapon, just don't equip it, and hopefully you'll be able to see in the UI that it will confirm to you that
just
you are
take
being
this
tracked,
off
and that means you
screen.
haven't been disqualified.
Falldown, will you speak now?
Yeah, test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test now.
Yes,
Test
we
1
were
2.
able to hear him.
Okay. So audio better. Stream from Falldown is laggy, is what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can improve on that too much on the go. We might just sort of have to go with the slightly laggy stream.
That's what I get. As I was telling.
I mean, I can just talk through what I'm doing and watch what you're doing and critique you.
Or we could put Falldown in the picture-in-picture maybe, and it wouldn't matter as much.
We could do that too. All right, so we're gonna go through with standard. Okay. Sorry, I tried to go above and beyond my tech class here. I guess
You're doing great, buddy.
Yeah, seriously, don't worry about it. I mean, if you look back in the history, anyone who's interested, go back in the history of our YouTube streams, which we posted. Go back to a few years ago with me and Brant, and the massive technical difficulties we dealt with all the time. And we've like steadily over time ironed out a lot of those kinks. Joe is jumping in and doing this for the first time. He's being the superhero about it. So please show him a lot of love in the chat.
Okay.
It's still being. I'm watching it on my phone, and it's still looking.
That's all right. I'm
pretty chunk of lunky.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill your game. And let's see. We're gonna go with. We'll just pop this up, fix this transform really quick, and I'll be front and center. I'll shake off that black and white LUT. Position 0 and 0.
Yeah, another question. The DLC weapons are all good. I assume they are. The stuff that we've made. So
yeah, anything that's anything that's not modded is absolutely good to go. So
also Geoffrey and I could both try to drop and see if that helps your guys' frame rate on the.
I would assume not. I think.
Well, let's just have.
Sorry, I'm hearing double audio, so it's like confusing my ability to talk. Turn some stuff off. Anyway, I think the problem is that when we use sort of screen sharing that's available through most teleconferencing services, usually that's done at a lower frame rate to save bandwidth, and we don't have a lot of control over that. So video tends to come through pretty clean. But I think if Brent and I went away, I don't know if that would actually make a difference to the performance. I think it's pretty much clamped at this level, probably.
I swear I just did standard, but we've got 16 plague hearts in here. That's a lot. All right.
Well,
we're gonna have to rethink this a bit.
All right. So I'm gonna start up as well on my side, and we'll go at the same time, and I'll critique you as I'm watching you as I'll play.
All
okay?
right, sounds good.
All right, cool. So what I was talking about, guys, for the setup that I'm using is I'm using legacy characters that generally have pockets. And I restarted the game multiple times with the Warlord trait in place. Ran to my new home, pulled all the grenades out of the stash, and then rinsed and repeated 3 or 4 times. That gave me a character with 60 grenades. And a gun. Then I just go into whatever car I'm in and start driving and go to the closest plague cart and get moving. That is an absolute budget build that anyone can do as long as you've completed the Warlord trait. And it's something that you're going to be able to go pretty fast on. But one of the things that people are going to have to remember is they're going to have to remember that the plague carts themselves spawn randomly. And the number of play carts on the map spawn randomly as well. So you're going to have to get really, really quick at looking at your map and deciding whether or not the layout of where the hearts are and the number of them is appropriate for a full run. You don't want to be wasting your time when you pop into a standard mode map and all of a sudden there are 17 play cards in there. You're gimping yourself right off the bat from a reasonable time, because everyone else is going to have 12, 13, 14, something along those lines. So just keep that in mind when you're loading up for this kind of run.
So along those lines, what I've done is I took one of my favorite survivors, and she's also my one of my drivers. So she doesn't use a lot of gas. I've loaded her up with a bunch of stuff for her M4X2, and so I'm moving through here, and I'm trying to use the assault weapon to get it to the first one, and then finish it off, because in standard they're pretty weak, and then finish it off with a grenade. So just bloop, done. Now, I did kind of mess up because I took a vehicle that doesn't quite have a full tank of gas.
It's got a full trunk of zombies, though. Oh, never mind. It's gone.
And of course, I chose what I think is between its speed and durability. I chose a car that makes me happy, the Road Racer MX, or whatever this is, the Road Mangler.
A fancy apocalypse road racer. Yeah, I love that's one of my favorite cars in the game. I love that thing. It goes so ridiculously fast.
It's gorgeous.
All right, yeah, that really hurt it. All right, it's dead. Okay, and then the brown tract house over there. Now those are sometimes like it's also a lot about knowing exactly what each building is about, and Falldown can attest to this too. Mm-hmm. Is that when you walk into a type of house, knowing where the hearts sometimes spawn. So like this one, it could be in the garage, but it's not. So that means it's upstairs here.
And one thing that I would suggest doing is, because unless you have just a ridiculous memory and you're able to take one glance at the map and memorize where all of them are, when you are getting back into your car, you can open up your map and mark the next play cart so that you won't have any wasted time, trying to figure out where you need to go.
I would love to have the kind of memory that could actually just look at a map once and know where everything is and not have to check it again. I have the opposite kind of memory where it's basically I don't remember my children's birthdays or names or anything.
Small one. You there, boy.
I just ram my car into whatever's on the road whenever I check the map while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to know what some people think of, different loadouts that you're thinking about, and really, discussing the tactics that folks are going to use. I think that there's going to be a lot of grenades. I think that there are probably going to be a lot of grenade launchers. It really depends on kind of how old your community is and what kind of stuff you have, and then double down on the ability to move quickly through the map.
Oh, I got a juggernaut.
Oh.
There's a lot of conversation in chat right now that people are worried about modding and modders and things like that. I know you said that there are safety precautions in place, Geoffrey. Is there and obviously you can't say too much because then folks that would mod will suddenly know exactly, what's in store for them. But
yeah, I'm not technical enough to be able to give them all the details. anyway. But basically, so the safeguards we have in place are, number one, we're on the Xbox, which means there's only certain kinds of mods that can get through, and we sort of targeted the ones we thought were the most egregious, the ones that would make the biggest difference to somebody's ability to get this challenge done quickly, and we put in some safeguards to watch for those known issues. And so we're not going to list them all here, but our expectation is that if you're on, you have to play on an Xbox. If you're playing on an Xbox and you have gotten modded stuff from somebody's PC game, we are attempting to detect that you've done that, and so don't do it, because if you want to win this contest and not be disqualified, then the best thing to do is play it safe, not use any weird modded gear, and just do this legit like everybody else. We are getting a lot of questions in the chat, by the way, about whether or not multiplayer is allowed. And no, this has to be done in single player. In fact, if someone joins your game while you are trying to do your run, it's going to invalidate your run. So turn off friends joining, get into full-on single player mode, and that's how you're going to want to do this run.
And really, that's part of the reason why multiplayer is turned off. Because what good would it be for us to check what kind of run you're doing and whether or not you've modded your game if all of a sudden your friends can just jump in and give you modded stuff while you're in the middle of the run. So we've put some thought into it. I don't think I brought enough.
How are you doing so far,
I
Joe?
don't think I brought enough bullets, but other than that,
I don't have the timer
I'm at
up, so I don't know.
I'm only at 7 play cards destroyed. Yeah, I'm going to need to stop and make an outpost.
So that
Made my
is
first
one
mistake.
advantage to having everyone have to sort of start from the ground floor with a brand new map, is that you won't have any outposts. And so if you want to use outposts to resupply, you're going to have to grab them in the field. So make sure that you've got enough influence or anything else that you're going to need to keep yourself resupplied when you're out in the field.
So here's a good question. Since it's going to be single player, if they pause the game, will it pause the clock?
Absolutely, it will. Yes. So and you'll be able to see that too. Whenever you pause the game, you're going to see a sort of an updated, a UI that's tracking your progress, and you're going to be able to tell right there that the time is not progressing.
And then can you enlist survivors from your home base to help? Not that, not.
Well, can you bring followers?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can bring. There's nothing stopping you from bringing followers. We're not trying to watch or track or prevent that, because that's a legit part of the game. So if you want somebody to sort of tank the zombies while you're dealing with the plague hearts, that's a completely legitimate approach. Or if you want somebody to carry extra supplies for you, now that you have the ability to talk to your follower and get access to their inventory, that might be a way to bring extra explosives and things like that.
Boom! What a great segue from new features. Geoffrey, you're a pro, man.
It's like I do nothing but hype our new features all the time.
All right.
Can they switch to a new character in the middle of a run?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, just a new character from your community or whatever. I mean, if you're going fast enough, you want to even just recruit a new character from an enclave. I mean, go ahead. It's probably going to affect your time though. But yeah, nothing about that would cause a problem.
Hey Joe, I just finished.
Nice.
What? And Joe is what, halfway?
Yeah,
through
about
them?
halfway.
Okay, so the competition is going to be stiff, is what we're telling you.
Wait a minute. I'm going to check and see if Falldown has a modded game here. Hold on.
Well, I'm wondering, so on a new game in standard, you only get 12, right?
Yeah, how many did you have?
I'm not sure. Let me recount. 1. There's 2.
So Joe going for 16 here is probably not a fair assessment of what the time is going to be like. But
well, I
used
12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 6 is 42. No, I had 16.
You also had 16? Man.
Yep. Falldown is a pro. So there are some very hardcore people who are going to be in this contest. So, gauge your expectations accordingly. But the fact that Falldown is famous for doing these speedruns does not mean he's necessarily the best speedrunner out there. We've got many more players than we have met in person, and so it is entirely possible there are folks out there who are going to give Falldown a run for his money.
Guaranteed they will.
Falldown didn't even have to use his little exploits, like he finds the spots where zombies don't quite reach you if you're standing next to a heart.
Yeah, for those of you who are in chat and have not seen my stream before, just so you guys know, zombies understand that humans still need naps. And so what they'll do is, if you're in a building with a heart, and this works on any level, this works on any difficulty, but if you are in a building with a bed that you can stand on, and I mean like a full bed, you can get up on that bed and the zombies will stand there and let you stay there for as long as you want. They will group up around you. They will scream at the sky, but they will do nothing to try and injure you, because they understand that once you climb into a bed as a human, you're supposed to be going to sleep, and they'll just leave you alone.
That is exactly how the monsters in my room worked when I was a little kid. Like, as long as I was like tightly bound up in my blankets, they couldn't get me. And so it's amazing that that this is such an accurate and authentic representation of how monsters work.
I'm going to totally troll Falldown by turning on navigation out of those beds again for zombies.
I know you. Well, you've done it to me before. I remember you were in chat when I discovered that you had fixed one of my exploits, and I was like, "What did you do?" And you just giggled at me.
I was about to say, before I thought of the brilliant bit about me hiding from monsters in my bed as a kid, I was going to say, "Oh, I need to go write a bug report."
Please don't.
Oh no, Joe hit a tree. That's it. His time is screwed. Start over.
Yeah, no good.
Falldown, half of my job here is monitoring you and making sure that the game isn't too easy for you. That's
I missed.
That's why we announced the 5th difficulty levels for people like Falldown, who are just not even being challenged anymore.
Oh, no.
One thing I should mention, by the way, is that bloater. Okay, good. You already saw him. Never mind. Because of the stream lag, I'm responding to things he's already dealt with.
Right.
People are going to want to know, how many runs they can do. Are they going to get to do one run at this and that's it? No, it's how many runs you can fit into that weekend. So from that Friday through that Sunday, at Pacific Standard Time, you're going to have the opportunity to do as many runs as you want, and your best run is the one that we're going to judge you on. So if you play through it once and you're not really happy, you think you can do better, go ahead and try it again. Try it as many times as you want until the timer runs out on the last day on the 18th.
Uh-oh. I didn't reload after the last
You got this,
time.
Joe.
Oh,
I have faith in you.
There was a question in the chat, Falldown. We weren't able to see your run. Did you have to refill? Do you have to regas your vehicle at any point, or do anything to sort of maintain your vehicle while you were going, or did you do it on a single tank?
Single tank. So what I did is, before I changed over, I made sure that I had a brand new car in my driveway that had a full tank. But the nice thing is did I time the last one? I think it was, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 minutes, 14, 7. I don't know. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll summon a new car, and I'll do another one right now. Okay.
Okay. Do you think you can get it done in the last 15 minutes of the stream?
Oh yeah. I got you.
Awesome.
All right. So we got a few other things that we need to look into.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Falldown's doing that.
So anyway. Sorry about the technical issues, you guys. I thought I was doing cool things, and then I just ended up not doing cool things.
You have been doing cool things that have leveled up the ambitions of this stream, and it's amazing. They just went exactly as well as all of the things that I tried a year and a half ago.
Did anyone time Joe? Joe, what was your time on that? Did you?
No, I didn't time it, but it was less than Falldown, so that's or more than Falldown. Like that's.
One question, Falldown, when you're selecting a vehicle, how do you judge the vehicle that you bring with you? Is it mostly about cargo capacity? Is it mostly about fuel efficiency? Is it mostly about speed?
It's about speed. It is entirely about speed. With the build out that I'm doing, which is 100% grenades, you don't need cargo. You don't need to gas up. All you need is boom. And if you have boom, you are going to do just fine.
So
I feel like that should be a
the cars
T-shirt.
that go boom.
All you need is
exactly.
boom.
All you need is boom. Yep. And because it's standard mode, I mean, if you're using a legacy character, you can use a driver, and that would work because that'll keep damage down for your vehicle. That'll allow you to definitely not have to refuel. But
you say a driver, you mean a character with the specialized driving skill?
Yes. I apologize, with the driving skill, because the driving skill gives you 100% fuel efficiency plus 50% vehicle endurance, and then plus 50% vehicle stealth. But the stealth doesn't really matter. You're interested in going fast and not exploding. And so as long as you have that trait on one of your legacy people, you can pull that person into a community, or use a community with a driver, summon your car or use your car, make sure that it's in the parking spot and fully fueled. Then when you change difficulties, it'll be ready to go. Have your character selected, run to the car, get going.
And to reinforce well, not to reinforce, but to back up what Falldown said here, the character that I chose is a Red Talon. She's got the hero perk Reinforced Chassis, which means I've got plus 50% vehicle endurance. I can run through pretty much anything. And then, of course, I've got Mobile Operations, which gives me only 50% fuel efficiency, which is not as good as the driving skill, although it does have other things. So it's a pretty decent strategy, in terms of fuel. You don't want to waste time refueling. I came in here and I was worried that I was going to have to refuel. You guys can see that I have just a sliver left here. So I did make it through successfully. But there's that. I'm not as fast as Falldown. I probably won't ever be as fast as Falldown. But I gave it my best go for now. All right, so let's see. We are back to. Let's go back and review those Zombie Slayer rules really quick. And then what did we do here? Oh, dear.
All right, I'm going to start a new run. Right now.
Okay.
All right.
While we're waiting, just remember to check if anybody wants to know or have them at your fingertips, go to stateofdecay.com/8OF.
And make sure that the number one thing is to make sure you're registered with the Xbox Hall of Fame. And then after that, go to the State of Decay websites and you'll get a breakdown of all of these things, the extra rules and so on. So as we start coming into relatively near the end, let's go back to my notes. Where are we at? Yes. So we've talked about the Xbox Hall of Fame. We've talked about our strategies. We even had our race. We've had a few questions. Let's go with the zombie rodeo winners, though. Let's see how far that gets us. All right. So, folks, in our last stream, we announced that we were going to announce our zombie rodeo winners. Speaking of things that help keep the community going, everything from artists and people making movies to people who are in game and just love taking pictures. You guys are the ones that keep us going and you keep the lights on, and we love you for it. So it's always nice when we get to do little things like this. All right. So first off, the first category that we are going to announce is the in real life winners and the runner-up for the zombie rodeo contest. So here we go.
Great. Just great. A juggernaut. Great.
Please let me know if that's not coming through on stream. I'll try really quick. Okay. All right. So as you can see there, I don't know why that's weird, but okay. This was working before I restarted my PC, and now it's not. That's great. Anyway, so the IRL winner, Adamantium, with the great video with his son. You didn't get to hear the voices or the sound effects, which was half of what made it really awesome. He put in like, "That's great. There's a juggernaut," and then his kid, shoots and whatnot. But I really liked this this cover right here. I like this sketch. That's pretty awesome. Riding a juggernaut and lassoing a feral. It kind of makes me wish now that we had a lasso. But thanks Red Matos for the submission, and of course thank you to Adam. That's okay. I think that I might have a problem with the audio. I don't think you're coming through for some reason. So I need to add that. Yay! Okay, so yeah, let's just have more problems. I'm gross. All right, so the in-game rodeo. Now, without further ado, here we go. Now the in-game winner is Oddly Lemony. This, of course, is one of my favorites, and I really like all of the things that she does here. She takes photographs and all of that fun stuff. So let's see, let's get that way off there. So we've got the in-game winner is Oddly Lemony. The runner-up was Lenik, and we'll get to Lenik in just a second. But what I want to take a moment to really express why this is super awesome. So you can see her survivor here, riding this juggernaut, but it's also on this ridge, and it looks to be, correct me if I'm wrong, this is my favorite map that I'm about to name, but this looks like Drucker County, and so big feels for me. I love this. I love everything about this photo. By the way, you guys are now NDI sourced so you guys can chat too.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if people were going to be able to hear my voice or not, so I haven't been saying anything. This is gorgeous. I love all the work that Oddly Lemony does with sharing screenshots on Twitter and stuff. Follow her if you don't already.
Definitely.
I thought I was being put in timeout for bad behavior.
Well, that may or may not be true, Brant, but in this case, it's just I'm figuring things out, and
You're doing great, bud. You're doing great.
it was hard. Sorry. Okay, so the runner-up, Lenik. Here you go, buddy. Hopefully you can see it and hear it.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Swine and Bovine Rodeo, where we'll be serving up some good old-fashioned barbecue, as well as jug riding, feral chasing. My favorite, the bloater exploder. Kids love it. Swine and Bovine is not responsible for any bite, scratch, or blood plague infection for any participants or audience members. So stop on by, partner.
And that's a pretty nice video. Thank you very much for that submission.
That was a lot of fun.
Nothing about, of course, the Swine and Bovine will never, ever take any responsibility for anyone that gets harmed, especially in the zombie apocalypse. So thank you for that submission. And then our final final part of this. Let's see. Let's take this.
That was a really solid one. I'd like to congratulate everybody.
Yeah, that was a great cut of in-game footage. So nice job, awesome job.
Hey.
All right.
I think I got what you need. I just need you to do a favor for me.
So the homage to Mr. Cash Beaumont is Mr. Fox. And for those of you who didn't get to see that because I was talking over the video, let's go ahead and try that again. All right, so Mr. Fox and his 9-second homage to Cash. Here you go.
Hey, Survivor. I think I got what you need. I just need you to do a favor for me.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fox. And of course, the runner-up here is Daisy Chainsaw, who went out of her way to knit Cash Beaumont. Of course, it looks like Cash hasn't. It looks like Cash hasn't exactly aged well in the zombie apocalypse. He's got a little red skin. His eyes a little off. His teeth are looking somewhat worn. But again, thank you, Daisy. It was super awesome. We really loved looking at. We really loved looking at all of these. We really loved it, and so
Yeah.
we super appreciate you guys taking the time to invest in your real lives and be part of our competitions. So again, thank you. All right.
Yeah,
Makes me want to suggest to the artist that we should do a version of Cash's outfit where he has no shirt on underneath. It's just a blue tie and a white jacket.
Right. There we
Oh,
go.
boy. Daisy, if you're watching, I would like to commission you to make a very special zombie based on what you did there. So we'll talk later.
All righty. So we got a few more. Do we have any more questions that are out there? Need answers?
I haven't seen any new ones roll in Slack. Let me see here. Yeah, no, I think we're good. I mean, and if people have any additional questions, remember the link that Brant mentioned, stateofdecay.com/HOF. You can get all of the detailed rules, and then xbox.com/HOF is where you actually sign up for the full contest.
And it's super easy, just so you guys know. Like it takes 2 minutes to sign up.
All right, Fall. I do have a few more. So you and I both chose Meager Valley, and there's a good reason for that. One, it's your wheelhouse, and I know you knew you were going to beat me anyway. Two, it generally tends to be flat and not that difficult to navigate. So, what my question is for you is, could you run us through the challenges in your mind? Because I know that you've run speedruns on each and every one of these maps. In your mind, what is the greatest challenge for Providence Ridge in terms of getting those plague hearts down?
What it really is Providence Ridge is one of the kind of widest maps, right? If you look at any of the other maps, they're generally smaller. The main areas that the plague hearts can spawn are more centralized. And Providence Ridge, the locations that the plague hearts can spawn are all over the place. So you're looking at probably going from the far southwest corner, far southeast corner to the far northwest corner, and then going up the hill on both sides in order to do the plague hearts. It's just a time factor. And then you put into that the fact that, much like some of the other maps, Drucker, Cascade, and Drucker, you have impassable terrain that you're going to be trying to work through, right? For Meager Valley, you don't have anything. Like, it is literally, it's just you drive across the map. There is a couple spots where the rocks are going to get in the way, but that's not going to actually impact you from a speedrun standpoint, because it doesn't matter. It's a big loop. With Providence, you start at the very top. If you restart your map, you start at the very top, and you have to go everywhere, and you're going to have to go everywhere on one tank of gas. And it's just the spread of the plague hearts is going to be, it's going to be really hard to do kind of in a timely fashion is what'll is. Yeah, it's definitely definitely one that, and I'm done, by the way. So
okay,
9 minutes.
Were you just doing that while you were finishing your speed run? Within 10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for that insight. Also, I would like to say that, like, the Cascade Hills, map has that interesting possibility of having the plague hearts that spawn up in the upper east side, northeast side, I guess. And so, that's why we went with Meager Valley. I'm expecting a lot of Meager Valley people to be going on this weekend. Just a reminder that it's October 16th through the 18th from 11:59 Pacific Standard Time until, other way around, 12:01 a.m. Pacific Standard Time until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 18th. So, thank you again. Falldown, it's been wonderful, but it's time.
Great to see you guys.
It's time for us to start doing our sign off. So, Falldown, any last words?
Good luck, everyone. Look at the weapons that are available. Look at the weapons that are easily accessible, right? so that you can redo your runs quickly. That's why I did grenades, is because you can get them very, very fast by recreating communities. Those of you who have had communities for a long time, I'm sure you have stockpiled with ridiculous amounts of weapons. Grenades are not the best weapon that you can use, but they are really, really good. And as you just saw or heard, you can get a very, very good time on it. So, practice, give it a shot, and best of luck to all of you.
Thank you, Fall. Geoffrey, any parting words of wisdom?
Just listen to what Falldown says, and take care of your cords.
Take care of your cords. Yeah, keep them out of the way. Like, they will annoy you. And Brant, what do we do? What do we say? I don't know.
What we say is thanks to everybody. We really appreciate you guys spending time with us, taking time out of your day. We couldn't do it without you. We love you, and get out there and do your speed runs. I'm gonna shoot for 3 hours. I'm going for 3 hours.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
I can do it.
Excellent. Thanks, Brant. I just want to say thank you, a special thank you to everybody for being patient. And now Brant's way bigger. Okay, I'm gonna turn off Brant completely.
No.
I'm gonna turn Brant off completely. All right, so we've got some technical issues to be working out as we start to incorporate here. Thank you, everybody, for your patience today. Hopefully, it's mostly just an amusing thing that we can go back to and never, ever have to see again. All right, so...
Thanks.
No, not you, buddy. I'm talking about the fact that the window kept resizing itself every time you spoke. That's not on you. That's on I don't know what, but we'll figure it out.
The best thing about this stream is the fact that we are the most unprofessional stream on the internet, and it's completely fine. I think everyone's on board. We love what they're doing. They love what we're doing. I think we're all in the same team here. So great work, Joe, putting this thing together. I mean, this was a trip.
All right,
I can't believe
and then
turned off my feed
before I go to sleep tonight and cry to myself in shame. Let's do this outro. Thanks, everybody. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh. Let's get rid of that. No outro text today, because I'm smart. Oh, no. Still bad. Oh, it's all bad. It's all bad. Oh my. And with that, I think that's more than 20 seconds.